Cancer definitely has some of the best book recs. Hello everybody out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I'm back with another book recommendations video based on your astrological sign, and this time it is for Cancers. So the dates for Cancer are June 21st to July 22nd. Cancer's sign is the crab, and it is a water sign. So some of the traits that, when I was doing my research into them, that were associated with Cancers are they are loyal, intuitive, charismatic, possessive at times. They can be moody. They're very passionate and creative. They can sometimes be a little bit secretive. They're very caring. They're kind of like your ride or die friends. You know, they're the like ones that you're gonna go to when you really need someone who has your back. They can be attention seeking and a tad dramatic at times. They have a very nostalgic streak to them, and they can be vengeful. So don't get on the wrong side of them. Some famous authors that are Cancers are Ernest Hemingway, George Orwell, Franz Kafka, Henry David Thoreau, Dan Brown, who wrote the Da Vinci Code books, Pablo Neruda, Marie Lu, who is a young adult kind of like dystopian sci-fi author, and Octavia Butler, who I haven't read any of her stuff. She writes adult fantasy, but I really would like to. So the first book I'm going to recommend for Cancers is Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend. This whole series, really, you could read. It is the Nevermore series, but particularly Wondersmith. This series follows a young girl named Morgan Crow who is believed to be a cursed child and is supposed to die on, I think it's her 11th or 13th birthday, something like that. But she is rescued by a man named Jupiter North, who whisks her away to the land of Nevermore, and she has to compete in these trials in order to stay there and become part of the Wondrous Society. So in this book, the reason I think this fits the Cancer traits so well is because of the loyalty you see here among Morgan and her friends. That trait comes out so strongly in this book, and I absolutely love it. Also, a little bit of the vengeful things come out in here, which I find kind of funny. I really like the little kids wanting to get revenge on these people who are bullying them or blackmailing them and making them do things they don't want to do. It's adorable. It's so sweet. I mean, Morgan has so many great ride or die friends, and I absolutely love this series. The next book I'm going to recommend, really the whole series, I guess, for this, but it is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This book has a great friend group in here. We have the 4 boys from the school along with Blue, and one person in particular I feel like really fits these Cancer traits, and that would be Ronan. He's an extremely loyal friend, like the definition of your ride or die friend. He's very passionate. He can be extremely secretive. He is very creative, and that's, you get more into that into the later books in this series, but he definitely has that streak as well, along with the vengeful streak. Ronan is one who, if you mess with his friends, he's gonna come after you and he's gonna make you pay for it. So also, he is definitely moody and can be overdramatic a lot. So really, Ronan embodies so many of these Cancer traits, but I absolutely love this series. It follows this group of boys who are trying to find this long lost Welsh king, and they are following these ley lines in this town in the eastern United States, and I love the atmosphere of it. I think that is extremely well done. I like kind of the Welsh mythology behind it. All of it was so enjoyable, and especially this first book was one of my favorites of the series. I absolutely loved it. And the next book that I'm going to recommend is Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. This book series is one that I've talked about quite a bit on my channel because I have been reading the whole series through, and it takes place in this very primitive world where the humans believe that the elf creatures called Frey are gods, and then a human man kills one of them, and they realize they might not be so godlike after all, and definitely things ensue after that. And I really think so many of the characters in this are very loyal. Loyalty is something that is very prominent in this book, and I think especially Moya is a friend that is very loyal loyal. She's so there for you no matter what. She can be extremely passionate and dramatic and over the top, but she's always got your back, and she is one of those that you know you can count on. Also, so many of these characters in here are very creative, which is something that is very important in this series, and it becomes more important as you go along. But you get some characters who are in such a primitive world, yet they are crazy creative. They're inventing things like the wheel and pottery and things like that. So their creative streaks are just off the charts. It's so much fun to read through the series and see these different things happening that just seem so old news to us, but it's so much fun. I really love the series, and the Cancer traits definitely come out strong in a lot of these characters. The next book that I'm going to recommend is the only one that I don't actually own, and that is The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. This book, and the movie that goes along with it, which I absolutely love and also recommend, is kind of the definition of overly dramatic, vengeful, ride or die loyal friends. It's insane, this friend group, and how loyal they are to each other, how much they are going to do even quite illegal things for each other, and it's just hilarious. It's so funny, the different antics they get into when they're kids. It really is about this group of friends telling their coming of age story to the daughter of one of the members, and the girls, God, they're just so crazy. They are off the charts insane, and I love it so much. I really enjoyed the characters in this. I think that Cancer characters are probably some of my favorites because I am loving all of the books that I'm recommending in this. But yeah, The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood is definitely one that's out of my range of the normal books that I read, but it is so good and you should definitely check it out. And the last book I'm going to recommend is one of my favorite books, absolutely, of all time, and I'm so excited to add it to one of these videos, and that is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This book is an adult epic high fantasy. As you can tell, it's chunky, and this is the first of a 5-book series. Only 4 are out right now. Well, kind of will be 10. Let's not get into that in this video. The reason that I would recommend this for Cancers is mainly because of Bridge 4 and Kaladin. Kaladin, oh, I love him so much. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. Absolutely adore him. He is loyal almost to a fault. He loves his people so much. He wants to help his people so much. He's very passionate. He can be extremely creative in ways to help better the lives of the people around him, to get them out of terrible situations, and he is just so caring, almost too much, and he can be really moody, and he's just such a lovable Cancer. I feel like when I read these traits of what a Cancer is, I'm like, yes, Kaladin fits all of these things, and I love him. And I feel like anyone who really enjoys those Cancer traits or sees them in themselves would connect with Kaladin. I just can't see anyone not connecting with Kaladin, honestly, and Bridge 4 and all of those people. It's just, they're so amazing. This book is so well written. You get drawn into the characters and their relationships and this found family that they have here, and I absolutely adore it. It is definitely a high adult fantasy that takes some time to get into. There's a ton of world building and magic system building and all those things, but it is so worth it. It's amazing and so well done. I absolutely love this book, this series. It's probably my favorite of all time. Okay, those are the books that I would recommend for Cancers. There were so many good ones. So many of my favorites are on this list, and I'm very excited. I hope that Cancers out there love some of these books. Let me know if you are a Cancer, if you've read any of these books, and if you enjoy them or not. And as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.